What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming at you with yet again another perfume experience. And for today, I have something very special. I had forgotten about receiving this sample with one of my orders. I've yet to smell it, so I'm experiencing it with you guys for the first time. And that is none other than Ensar Oud's Layers of Jade. If I could get the camera to focus. Oh my god, that is so close. Okay, and that's part of the release for the Hong Kong Oud Fest, which I did not make to, nor did I get an invite. So by the odd chance, Ensar Oud, considering that I do a lot of coverage for your brand, maybe, just maybe, invite me over next time. It'd be nice to actually attend one of these. But yeah, so what we will do is we will go through them using off of the website and the notes, and then I will do an experience with you guys. But before we get started, and as per tradition on this channel, make sure to grab your favorite bevy, snack, or as in my case, cafe. I'm just waiting for it to cool a bit because it is piping hot. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the awesomeness coming your way. I've decided to actually try new beans today. So these are Munch Brothers SL28 honey beans. They're from Costa Rica, and their tasting notes are rose water, watermelon, brown sugar, and they are grown in terrazzo. So for those of you that are interested in the coffee I'm drinking today, so I've never had this before, so I'm super stoked for these beans. And yeah, let's grab a sip and get started. Hopefully cool down a bit. Oh my god, so hot. Yeah, this is one thing I'm really good at, you guys, is extracting shots. And let me tell you something, these are rocket fuel. I can feel it in my veins already. All right, so Layers of Jade. When you smell it for the first time, you're not sure, was your nose set up for a verdant ambush, or is this the most soulful green zen you've ever smelled, or both? And where on earth does this smell come from? It's like you've stepped into a sonorous forest alive with petrichor, but not on this planet. So just FYI guys, petrichor is the word used to refer to the scent of rain. In particular, the scent you pick on after it has rained and it stopped raining, okay? If you've never smelled the verve of green vetiver roots, then there's a hole in your olfactory palate. An experience so lush and herbaceous, green Indian cuss smells almost more full of life than lying nose down in a forest trail listening to the hum of the earth. Imagine that level of green, then picture those wild roots drenched in the aboriginal foliage of wild Papuan agarwood. When we gave one of the attendees at the Hong Kong Oud Fest a spritz of Layers of Jade and then later a swipe of green papawa, or papa, to explain that this is the actual oud in the perfume, a light went on. Ah, yes, I can smell the perfume is full of this. Because Layers of Jade is a highly unusual perfume, the desire to keep sniffing it is dialed up a notch. What is this? But it's not just because of the scent's uniqueness, but also because the vegetative oud injected herbal pull is naturally inviting. One attendee at the HK Oud Fest lost track of time with his nose stuck to the scent strip as if there was no one else around him. We literally had to snap him out of it. Okay, whatever. Take the pure, earthen, artisanal oud of the greenest order that rides atop the vibrant vetiver and strap on the ethereal sweet wings of Rose Otto and smell the scent take off and quickly fill the room. The green resinous tenor of green Papua or Papa or Papoa, and vintage 23-year-old Malaysian Tigerwood Oud is amped up further by tobacco leaf and then sweetened by plum and castoreum, all fizzing with the vitalizing spicy vigor of patchouli. And then it goes into the notes. So in the top, you guys, we have Japanese hinoki and pink pepper. In the heart, there's blackcurrant, rose otto, and plum. And in the base, there is green Papua Oud, which is wild, vintage Malaysian Oud, wild, green vetiver, orris butter, patchouli, and tobacco. As you can see, this perfume is base heavy, so you're in for a surprise when you're met with wafts of piercing green oud cuss as if they've been transformed into lush top notes. While green Papua already features heavily in the composition, this edition contains an added gram of it, worth $185 on top of the finish $185 on top of the finished compound to make the green oud incense permeate every crevice of the profile. The result is green zen in a bottle. Okay, I always love reading the musings of Ensar. You know, whoever comes up with the writing and the marketing doesn't really go out much. Or live stuck in a little fantasy in their head. But that's what makes it fun, you know? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of us, including myself, bought Ensar Oud's products because of the cheesy marketing. So, what does that say about the rest of us? Alright, so layers of jade, pure perfume, and Ensar Oud, sniffing or whiffing for the first time. Oh yeah. God damn. Ugh. Listen, everything he said in that write-up is true. This is so zen, you guys. This is probably the most antiseptic offering I've ever smelled from the House of Ensar Oud. It literally smells like I'm walking through a hospital. But it's in a nice way. It's not like, wow, you know, the petrichor facet really is good in here. He definitely hit that nail on the head. Whoa. Oh my god. I do agree also that the way this smells, the base notes actually come across more as the top notes. It is very, very interesting that the musing is spot on. Wow. Okay, let me just momentarily put this on in here and take a quick look at the notes. So, I haven't smelled either green Papua or Malaysian Oud on its own, so I cannot speak to what they smell like standalone, but you definitely have Asian Oud in here just because of how antiseptic this is. No animalic facet, no dirtiness, no mugginess. It's just straight up antiseptic note. Then there's green vetiver and patchouli and tobacco. So yes, there's the tobacco I'm getting in there. So is the green vetiver and the patchouli. Now let's look at orris butter. So yes, it definitely is in there. You get this buttery sweetness in there. Now, so like I said, this, even though these are in the base, there most certainly are the leading notes, which is a bit weird. Why? Again, I find with this house sometimes they will label they will label top notes as base, because technically if that's what you're getting the most off and on the opening it should be a top. But anyways, with the heart you have blackcurrant, rose otto, and plum. So yes, you do get the blackcurrant. Um, it's very, very hard to distinguish though, but it is there in the heart. Rose otto. Yes, you do get it, but it wafts in and then fades out very quickly again in the heart. And then there's plum. Mm, I'm not too sure about that one. See, when I think plum, I think either jammy plum, okay, which tends to be very jammy and sweet, or I think more raw plums, which are a bit more citric, acidic, and on the green side. So I'm gonna go ahead and say sure it's there, but I'm not 100% certain. And then in the top you have Japanese hinaki, which I've never smelled before, so I can't speak to that. And then pink pepper. Yes, it's there. It's there, but just okay. This is a little treasure for me. So this is a very green-oriented scent, you guys. Um, so if you, the closest thing I have in my collection that comes to mind designer-wise is Frederic Mall's French Lover. It's like French Lover, but French Lover compared to this smells so synthetic. This is just really, really natural. So I do agree with them using that. With this one, you're getting a more natural green forest petrichor after the rain scent profile. And it's quite amazing how accurate that music is, because it does definitely. Oh my god, the smell of this is bottle worthy. Okay, there goes my bank account again. um, but yeah, let's get back on track. So with this one, it's a green oriented scent. It definitely is very zen. It's very herbaceous, slightly spicy, clean. You can't really smell the castoreum in here. I didn't see castoreum in the notes, but he does mention it. You can't really get it, but it probably is in there offering the sweetness along with the orris butter. But with that said, let's speak performance. I'm gonna go ahead and say just sniffing it off of that little vial and straight up away from my nose. Performance on this one is gonna be strong. Again, I didn't apply it to my skin because I just have a little bit. Maybe once I do get a full bottle, I'll do a full review with the skin application. But off of that little vial, even right now, you guys, and in my hand, like, performance of this is gonna be strong. Projection wise, you definitely are gonna get a good amount of projection, a good amount of trail and sillage with this. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not necessarily a function of the ouds per se as much as the other greens in here, like the patchouli, the vetiver, and whatnot. It definitely does have strength to it. Now, it's not monster mode, it's not overkill. It's just strong enough where you can smell it off of yourself easily. People within your close vicinity will be able to smell it easily. And depending on how many sprays you apply, you'll have a good trail and sillage. Okay? With respect to seasonality, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is neutral seasonality wise. It's versatile enough to wear across all seasons. I don't really see it as too cold or too warm in its profile. I think it depends on you as a wearer, and we'll get to that shortly, but I can see this as good spring, summer, as well as fall, winter wear. Okay? With respect to time of day, Again, very versatile to the point that you can wear it in the morning or in the evening or the afternoon. So versatility across the day. Again, with respect to gender profile, this is definitely masculine leaning. Okay, it's very green, it's very herbaceous, it's very close to old school traditional French masculine perfumes. So masculine profile there. How I would dress this, I'm definitely gonna say this is very befitting for formal wear, even though I've just mentioned earlier and the profile did speak to it being Zen, which I do agree with, but I can actually see this, being suitable for formal settings and contexts, which will I get into shortly. But I think you would do this a favor by dressing it up. So a three-piece suit, a bespoke shoes, a nice watch like a Rolex, IWC, uh, um, an AP, or what are the other watches? I'm blanking on these, but you guys that are into your watches know what I'm talking about. So definitely dress it up, go to the teeth. It's a very formal leaning scent, I find. Context wise, I'm gonna say it's actually very zen but also very formal in a way, and very masculine and very traditional. So I actually see this as being a good fit for the office. So you can definitely wear this to work. It's not offensive by any stretch of the imagination, and very exotic, different, but also familiar in the same vein. So in an office setting, it will do great. I also see this, just because of its zen quality, being suitable for example, going to a cafe, grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting, relaxing, reading a book, going for a walk out in nature, so on a trail close to your house where there's a lot of greenery, or perhaps going for a hike in the mountains. I also see this as good for just if you're sitting at home and let's say writing a book or writing an essay, or let's say writing a piece that's philosophical or spiritual. This is a really good fit. The reason I'm shying away from saying zen and being relaxed and sort of taking it easy, because this has this edginess to it. It has this masculine formality to it. So while it does have a zen quality, I think that would do this a favor by establishing it in a more formal light and a formal context, which is how I would dress this and I would enjoy it. So yeah, so that's it context wise. Now, would I recommend layers of Jade, Pure Perfume, and Ensar Oud? 100% yes. Get your nose on it, get your wallet on it, cop it. As a matter of fact, as soon as I'm done with this recording and upload, I'll be copying a bottle. I usually go for the smaller ones just because I like variety and I would like to stretch my dollar longer. Again, with this house, they rarely do samples to purchase yourself, which is such a shame, because I mean, it's lost dollars for them, but they're also not accessing a wider market of people that want to enjoy these offerings and can't splurge on the full bottles. There's just, I don't know. I mean, they're already aware that there are people that buy their bottles and go online and create samples and sell them at a profit. Just do it yourself. You're literally expanding your customer base. You are making more money, so it's a win-win for everybody. Because I do think there are a lot of people out there that really want to try these offerings, but going for a full bottle is just out of reach for them, and it's such a shame because while this is in a lot of way an artisanal luxury product, I just find that given the nature of the essential oils in here, it can be very healing for a lot of people. I know for a fact that one of the things that gravitate me toward artisanals is that a lot of these oils personally help me a lot psychologically, spiritually, even just from a pure sensuality. So it would be nice if the brand actually focuses also a line of its offering on samples for all their products. I don't think, maybe they're trying to maintain the image of it being exclusive. I don't necessarily think it would degrade the brand image in that way. If anything, it would expand their market access as well as their bottom line, because let's face it, I mean, they're already doing it just for free. So with orders, just offer it to the wider market too, for those that want to buy standalone samples. I just think it will, you know, for the greater happiness of the world and goodness of the world, because it's fantastic, honestly. And Ensar Oud does quite an amazing job with his offerings, and you know, again, him and Arij Lador, and who else have I tried artisanal? Melig. Yeah, they're all fantastic, and I'm glad that they exist and they took a risk to go counterculture in perfumery. And you know what? I digress. I don't know why I went down this tangent. Anyways, this is it for Layers of Jade, Pure Perfume, and Ensar Oud. Uh, you know what? Blind buy it. If you like green perfumes that are vetiver, patchouli heavy, you will not regret it. It's a very familiar scent profile, but slightly exotic with a new sort of take on it. And yeah, you'll thoroughly enjoy it. With that said, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. As per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.